All right, moving into chapter 9, new products, new product design. The chapter starts off with the statistic that 80% of new products fail. Think about it, 80%. That is, according to the book, results in losing $20 to $30 billion a year. So, we're always working on our project, right? What we're doing with our project is we're trying to practice getting everything right. And here are some of the things that can go wrong. Your idea might be good, but other things could happen. You've got a great idea, but. So, poor design. Does the product work? Is it easy to use? Is it durable? Things like that. We need to check our product design and see if it's good. The market size might be overrated. Well, you think about it. You got a target market. You know the general population, how big it is. For us, it's about, we'll call it 300,000. Well, if your product is targeted towards girls, that would be, and women, that would basically cut the population in half. And then the product might be for a certain age of female, and then that would cut the available target market down even more. And then if it's a niche or a specific product for one small group of women or girls, then the number gets even smaller. So we have to be realistic about how big the market is. Also, we might position the product wrong. It could be positioned. And in fact, it could be positioned so close to another competitor that it just doesn't get traction. So on a scale of quality or price, an attribute, it's the best at doing this. Should we have said that, or should we say it's best at doing something else? That could be a problem. Bad timing. Sometimes things just don't work out at a certain time. Maybe you're going to launch a product in December and people aren't really concerned about that at the moment. Maybe there was an early winter and you were a kind of a fall kind of product, or they're just infatuated with Christmas and it's not really a Christmas product. So that could be a problem. Another thing is it could be priced too high. Can people afford it? Does it give good value? And you also have to look at the 4 C's when we're doing this, because we have to look at the cost to the customer. If it's priced too high, it doesn't offer good value, people would rather spend their money on other things. That could be a big problem. Also, I have over here priced too low. Some things might be priced too low, and that builds the expectation that they're of low quality, they're cheaply made, there's not a whole lot of confidence in the product, so therefore we kind of want something that really works, and if it's priced too low, it's too good to be true, we might be wasting our money by going cheap. So that could also be a problem. When it comes to advertising and communicating the product to the audience, have we really reached the market? We might have wasted our money on advertising where it was at a certain time on TV or on the radio when nobody's listening, or when, more importantly, your target market is listening. So it could have been that the advertising failed to reach the market. Also, I have up here bad ad. The message may not have really connected with the target market. We're trying to communicate here. Or the ad maybe doesn't highlight an attribute that people would appreciate more. Although it does do that, we focused on this. And in the ad might look cheap. I can't remember, which is a problem, the brand or what they were selling, but there is a commercial out right now where the actors are so bad, they're not convincing me of anything. Also want to mention, because I don't think we mentioned it earlier, was the number of attributes to promote in one advertisement. And that was on the study guide, maybe even from the last time. But the advice is to focus on one attribute if you can. If somebody's saying, you know, the highest quality, we're the highest quality, or we're the fastest. But if the competition has already claimed that territory, we might have to do highest quality and we're the quickest, if that's possible. They say maybe do 3, but that can get confusing. So maybe our message to the customer didn't work. The product isn't understood. What does the product do? If our message is poor, the product is something new that people don't really recognize, they haven't thought of that, they didn't realize they had that problem, that could be a problem. Another thing is the product might be too costly to produce. You come up with a product and you're supposed to cost out your product. We'll get into that more with business analysis. But you're supposed to be able to cost out your product so you know there's a room for a profit margin, room for advertising, distribution cost, and we can make a profit off that. Now, once we've done that, can people afford it? Maybe we've ended up that it's too costly to produce, and therefore it's going to be priced too high. Also, I don't think Belize is #1 in copycats, but on the smaller businesses, they are. We are copycats. We see something that works, we see that somebody else is doing something, we want to copy them. So if we don't have a competitive advantage, that could lead us to being very vulnerable to copycats. Also, bad brand. I work hard at brands. When I'm coming up with my little projects, and I do this almost every semester, I have my own little thing that I want to just think through. I work hard on my brand. We can't do A and L. Don't be doing that. No, don't do that. And you're gonna have a project, and maybe it's Melissa and Nathan or something, and so we're just gonna call the product M and N. What if Google had done this, right? What if if it was P and G or something? What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go P and G that. Well, Google. What about Amazon? So we need a good brand, and this over time we have to build an image of quality, consistency, something like that. We also might be in the wrong locations. We might place our product in a grocery store when it really should be somewhere else, or we might just put it at the bus stop when it should be in the grocery store. So we could have wrong locations as well. Poor packaging. I see this around town. There's a hot sauce, a tamarind hot sauce. I'm interested in it, but then there's only 4 on the shelf. I'm starting to notice that the labels might be laser jet printed or something like that, and somebody splashed something on it and it's starting to bleed. And then I noticed that 2 of the bottles have white caps and 2 have silver caps, even though they're the same product. And I'm going, what happened? We ran out of bottle caps on our first production run. That is key right there. Also, no shelf space. If you look, especially in America, the shelves are just packed. And if you want to get into the cereal business, you're going to have to knock somebody out to get in there because the shelf is packed. So that could be a problem with not being able to get shelf space. So 80% of new products fail, but we have to work on it. We have to think through it. We have to think like the customer. Is it the product really needed? So these are some things to note in your project of problematic areas that could cause your product to fail.